Hi, this is Tanima and a happy Diwali to all of you. Now, Diwali is, of course, a time to celebrate, but it has also meant toxic air, poisonous air for several years now. It's not just a thing that Delhi is experiencing, it's also a case in all our metro cities. And in order to tackle the pollution challenge, what the Delhi government this time is proposing to do is to have a spell of artificial rain. That's right. This is something which the Delhi government is planning to use for the first time in order to tackle pollution or in order to reduce the toxins in the air, and that in as a consequence is going to improve the air quality. Now, what exactly is artificial rain? It sounds like a thing from the future, but it has actually existed for several years now, but this is the first time that the Delhi government is planning to use it. So just as a quick primer, these are some of the FAQs that you might have in your mind when it comes to thinking about artificial rain and what it can do for Delhi's pollution problem. To begin with, what is artificial rain? Now, this is in a way a weather modification technology that is has in fact been used in the past to tackle or to deal with several issues, not just in terms of controlling pollution levels. That's been something that China has done in the past, but also in order to you this technology has in fact been used in order to deal with the drought problem. Also, this has been used in several parts of the country, several parts of India, in order to tackle the drought challenge. But to begin with, in simple words, if we talk about this, it's basically about cloud seeding, where silver iodide, certain chemicals basically sprayed into the clouds. And these are clouds which are precipitation clouds, which are, anyways, in a way would have led to rains. But there are certain clouds which are selected by the scientists where the silver iodide or potassium iodide is dispersed into these clouds, whether through airplanes or whether through drones. There are several methods which are available for scientists and experts to do that. And once silver iodide or potassium iodide is dispersed into the clouds, that acts as a nucleus, and around which the clouds will be forming. The precipitative clouds are anyways targeted, but the cloud formation will take further with the presence of these chemicals in them. But what experts also point out is that there are several challenges in terms of the fact that it's not just a magic bullet which once sprayed into the clouds that's going to lead to rain. That's a consequence. There are several weather conditions also which have to be favorable in order for this to work. For example, the as I said, to begin with, they have to find seedable clouds or moisture laden clouds. And secondly, there have to be suitable weather patterns, wind movement. Some of these factors have to come into play together in order to make this a success. So, but in basic terms, if you have to talk about what is artificial rain, that's what it is. And the entire process would take about around half an hour. So if it's a success, you would most likely see rains taking place in half an hour or 30 minutes or so. And the Delhi government is planning to do this between November 20th and 21st. So around a week or so from now, that's the target time that the Delhi government is mulling in order to have a spell of artificial rain. Now, if you talk about some of the other factors now, whether it's actually a feasible process, and the feasibility obviously depends a lot on the cost which is going to be incurred by the Delhi government. Now, as we saw that Delhi's Environment Minister Gopal Rai had a meeting with IIT Kanpur scientists, IIT Kanpur experts, in order to figure out how to do this. And they have initially decided to target a 300 square kilometer area, and that's going to be at a cost of 1 lakh per square kilometer. So eventually it's going to lead to a cost of 3 crores for this entire first round of artificial rain that the Delhi government is planning. Later on, if this turns out to be a success, they have decided that they're going to do a second phase as well. But as far as the first phase is concerned, the cost which the Delhi government will incur is going to be roughly around 3 crores. Now, the crucial question, which everyone has in their mind, including me, is whether artificial rain actually works. Now, as I said, this is not a new technology. It has, in fact, existed since the time of World War, right after World War II. And over the years, over different spans of time, around 56 countries have already used weather modification technologies. One of the weather modification technologies is artificial rain. Now, these technologies have, in fact, been used by several developed nations like China, US, Singapore, Australia, Russia, and as I said, even India has in fact had history of using it. So back in 2017, in fact, Karnataka introduced the concept of artificial rain, using it to target drought affected regions. Their project was in fact called Varshadhare, and there was cloud seeding project. As I mentioned, in fact, the IIT Madras researchers were involved in that at that point in time, and claimed that in 2019 they did a study in which they claimed that because of this project in Karnataka, the regions which were targeted got 28% more rain. More recently, in fact, in Maharashtra, Solapur region of Maharashtra, artificial rain technology was used. And that also, there was a report which was released just a few days back in which it said that Solapur, in fact, received 18% more rains because of artificial rain technology. In fact, India is, in fact, the country which has the fifth largest investment in weather modification technology. So, as I said, our scientists, our experts are not new to this. They have seen it work, which is the reason why even Delhi government is now considering this as a big option that they might use in order to control the pollution levels in the national capital region. But as I mentioned, that it is tough to find seedable clouds, and also experts have also warned that in case it's used indiscriminately, it may work once, it may work twice, but in case it's used indiscriminately, that might also lead to environmental damage in the long run. So this has to be a very thought out process. So what can the Delhi government do? Now, as we know, due to natural rains over the past couple of days, Delhi's pollution levels have in fact dipped, and the Delhi government's already put the odd even scheme on hold. Whether or not they're going to finally go through this cloud seeding process or not, that is something which Gopal Rai's ministry is going to evaluate starting Monday. Considering today's Diwali, that will also, of course, impact their decision. The level of pollution that they see in the air over the next couple of days because of the Diwali celebrations. That is a factor which the Delhi government, which the AAP government will keep in mind before finally going through this process. And we'll, of course, bring you all the details there. Thanks for watching.